G'day punters, welcome to another episode of All In, where our aim is to find you some winners nice and early in the week. I am joined by none other than Dean Watling. Dino, how are you, mate?
Good, Gannon, mate. How you going?
Mate, I'm flying. I'm sure some of our punters and followers are flying, mate. Let me just throw this number at you already, mate. 2,000 views on our show. Mate, what's doing?
Yeah, there must be some sad people out there who've got nothing else to do but tune into us two dribbling for 20 odd minutes. But hopefully they were tuned into last week's show, mate, because a bit of value got found.
Mate, you were on fire. I can't say the same about myself, but mate, you found three winners there: Private Eye, Montefilia, Coolangatta. No value in Coolangatta, but there's certainly some value in Montefilia and Private Eye. Mate, probably one of your best weekends to date, mate. Talk us through that. How was it?
Yeah, it's nice to always land some good price winners on those big days, the Epsom and your Metrop. I think stars aligned. The horses and the jockeys and the track all played to our advantage there. And I think, like we said at the start of the week, we expected that track to play very fair, and that just played into our hands beautifully. I think it just highlighted on the weekend how important it is to review your meeting. A lot of the winners out of Saturday came through that Randwick meeting 2 weeks back, where it was near impossible to close off down the outside. 2 weeks later, and it's quite the opposite. So it was nice to finally stick. You can have those weeks and days where you sort of think you're going crazy sticking with these horses, but it's nice to land some big price winners.
Funny you mentioned that, mate. I got a couple of those from that Randwick meeting coming up that'll be running around this weekend that I found. So hopefully we can get stuck into those. All right, mate. So let's just do a quick review on Saturday. You've done a review for the barrier attendant. Mate, give us a couple of horses to follow and just give us a quick assessment on how you saw the track.
Yeah, perfect. So I'll just start out with a bit of the advantage. So 6 out of 10 of the winners come from off pace, and 8 out of the 10 winners were off rails in run. And we saw 8 out of 10 winners come from lane 7+. So straight away that tells you that it was a slight advantage, or probably a bit more than slight advantage, to be off rails, off pace, and sort of those wider lanes where we saw your Private Eyes, your Montefilias close off and win. Merit and Forgive horses: Hinged, Ice Bath, Moanga, Toorak and Gravina. I threw them in the Forgive file. And some horses for us to follow. The Queensland filly that ran in the Flight Stakes, I think she just got too far out of the ground. Star Ontes. I think there was a big question mark over 1,600 metres. She actually recorded the fastest last 200 of that race. So I think she ticked that box, and she's going absolutely outstanding. Like I said, just got run off her feet too much. I think if she drops back to 1,400 metres or even stays at 16, I think we can follow her. And probably the big one that myself and you, Gannon, that were on was Ice Bath. Absolutely no luck at all. Looked to have a lap full of horse Dolan around that bend and just couldn't get out. We did get the rain finally. The gods opened up late, but just couldn't get those splits. But I think we can follow her, and I think she'll be winning very soon, mate. So that's a quick rundown of how I reviewed the meeting at Randwick.
Mate, I love it. And yeah, no doubt Ice Bath will be going around winning the Invitational without me next start. Anyway, less said about that, the better. Mate, let's kick off Saturday's preview. We have a cracking Spring Champion Stakes at Randwick, and obviously Guineas Day down at Caulfield. But we'll start off with Randwick, mate, where the rail is out 5 metres from the 1,600 metres to the winning post, and 4 metres the remainder. Temperatures look like they're going to be pretty mild all week. It's a pretty hot day today, being Monday, public holiday. It was a cracking day out there, but so you think we saw Warwick Farm sort of improve a couple of ratings as well. So you probably suggest that Ram is getting a bit dry, and they're going to have to apply a bit of irrigation this week, mate. How do you see the track playing at that setup?
Well, I think we saw on the weekend Randwick rail in the true is the fairest. That's when you can sort of back those horses off pace with confidence. Out to the 5 metres, I think it's probably back to a little bit more even here. I think we'll see horses sitting in that midfield towards pace, especially with that dry heat all week. I think there's no rain at all forecast, so we're expecting a good track and probably, if anything, get to a good 3 come Saturday. So I think we'll be looking for those horses, possibly midfield at worst, and we'll just have to figure out which lanes are the key lanes. But I think if you do the form on a fair track, I think you'll be right on your way, mate. Is that how you saw it?
Yeah, I'd say, look, if anything, on pace won't be a disadvantage, where I think I was pretty much in the corner of it being a disadvantage. Was going to be a disadvantage on Saturday, especially later in the day. So I think on pace would be ideal. But look, it's Randwick, right? So if you can be on pace in the running line, be fantastic. So probably advantage, draws three all the way out to sort of 10 in a sort of 14 horse race, I'd say. But you'll play pretty even. I'll stop gibbering on. Mates, we will head the first race, the Group 1 Champion Stakes. Profondo, $2.80, Head of State, $3.50. Allegron, $8. Richie Bono, $8. And Never Been Kissed, potentially likely to line up $8. Mate, what do you see here? Anything?
Yeah, a lot of these horses raced last start. You've got your Profondo, Head of State, Allegron and Benno all come through the same race leading into this. Never Been Kissed obviously brings that new form line through the Flight Stakes if she does back up. But it's a tricky old race, I found. I think Profondo probably wins last start if he doesn't duck back towards that rail. He got that slap on the whip over the left. He just wanted to duck in, so he won't be able to do that in a big Group 1 to win the race. I think Benno's probably the biggest improver here. Comes out of a narrow maiden, then was very good late there. I think he was better than the Godolphin horse Allegron late in that piece last start. So I would be playing around Profondo. I think we'll get a nice price late and Benno, but I don't have a real opinion on the race, mate. How did you sort of see it?
Mate, I can't have Never Been Kissed. I think that Flight Stakes is horrible, so I'll completely pass on that. Can't have Allegron, can't have Benno, can't have Profondo simply because the horse doesn't go straight. Blinkers probably go on. That'll help, maybe. Sometimes it doesn't. Maybe it'll help. Robbie might come off. Maybe that'll help. But do you want to be taking $2.80 at the moment? Absolutely not. Will I take $3.50 Head of State? Probably not, no. But that's the one I want to be backing, Head of State. Waller knows. He's got it. Hopefully, assuming he's heading there, of course. And that's the thing with Waller, betting all in, just got to be careful. I'll probably wait to hear more probably Tuesday night. This comes out Tuesday morning anyway. So just keep the powder dry for 12 hours and see what you hear. Keep your ear to the ground there. But for mine, I would be going Head of State. If you get beaten by Profondo, the horse zigzags its way up the straight. Good luck to you. But mate, I'll tell you what, we've had a few people chime in on Twitter here. So William on Twitter says Profondo, Allegron, Moral or something similar to that, Moral Quinella. So he doesn't want to borrow Head of State. In fairness to Head of State though, it was on speed dominant last start, but I think we get the same sort of favours again. Good horse and run straight for mine. Anyway, mate, Group 2 Roman Consul, 1,200 metres. Paul Lilly, $3. Home Affairs, $3.50. Glen Eagles, $6. King of Sparta, $8. O President, 11. Shakiro, 11. What do you got for us?
Yeah, I really can't Paul Lilly here. I was against this horse first up with that dominant win, and then sort of had a very good second up run, but was just luckless. And then last start was very good again. The 1100 Rosehill on that Golden Rose day where it was hot to be on pace and rails. This horse obviously sat back over the 1100 metres, which always is an advantage to those that settle on pace. It's a shoot start over the 1100 metres, so it's very hard to come home. I really like what this horse did late. Sectionals were great, and I thought probably got run off its feet, but was still there and still able to show a kick. I wouldn't have been surprised if it dropped out late, just having to keep up with those up on front and then still show a turn of speed late. But he was able to do that. I think he could possibly be the Godolphin Everest horse. Meets Home Affairs again. But I think you can turn the tables with the Randwick here over the 1,200 metres. I like that step up 100 metres. Glen Eagles is a knockout chance. Actually recorded the fastest last 600 in the run to the Rose, where we had Animo and Into the Congo come out from that race. So that's probably the best form line leaning in this. Had a nice tick over trial. So Palili and Glen Eagles here, the two that I could definitely entertain. I think there's probably a big watch on the Waller horse, O President. If you can go back to the autumn in your mind, he was heavily backed in that Golden Slipper before having an issue and being spelled. So he's a one soft trial leading in. But interesting to note the market. But for mine here, Gano, Palili 3s and Glen Eagles at 6. I think I'll be betting around those two, mate. How'd you say it?
Mate, I actually found Shakira. I'm not sure if it's going to make its way out from Melbourne. So another one, wait and watch again. But if we do find out that it is here, once again, ear to the ground, get those Google alerts going. If it's coming here, I want to be on it. $11 a win, $3 a place. Was really good in the Moy. I actually backed it was like 40s or something stupid, and ran well without luck. It's a good horse. It's a good horse, and it's Palili's, good horse. It was against the bias last start. Spotted Home Affairs a big start, but Home Affairs also first up, pretty sure. So it's also going to improve there. So really hard to split Palili and Home Affairs. So if I was to have a bet, it would be on Shakiro, and obviously wanting to know that it is coming back there, mate. So as usual, I'm sitting on the fence. Mate, heading over to the Stan Fox 1,500 metres, Brigantine $3, Coast Watch $3.50, Cup Devant 6, Gianna 6, Halal 8. A couple of those going to the Caulfield Guineas, most likely Cap Devant and probably Coast Watch, with Waller likely to opt with Giannis going to the Stan Fox. So Brigantine, Giannis, Halal. Let's run with those, mates. Unless you've got any more inside information for me.
Nah, like you said, it's a race that will probably take shape a lot more in the coming days when we figure out who's staying in Sydney and who's going down to Melbourne. So for that fact, it's probably not a race I'm too keen to probably play early. If anything, I was hoping Coast Watch would probably stay in Sydney. It was very good in the Golden Rose there, and I think up to 1,500 metres. This horse wants all of that and has that great racing pattern where he puts himself on pace. He's pretty versatile. So I was hoping Coast Watch stays, but likely to go to Melbourne. So for mine, mate, I think this is sit and watch and wait for the field to take a bit more shape. You seeing it similar?
Yeah, I think they're taking the piss if they leave it in Sydney. It's a good chance down there. Especially could be ridden a little bit more forward as well. Mate, I found one for us here. So Brigantine, like fair income. This race they ran, this Guineas Prelude they ran down in Caulfield. Like the race jumped. I had a beer in my hand. I fell asleep with a beer in my hand, woke up. They still hadn't finished the race yet. They've run 13.63, 11.71, 11.91, 12.52, 12.03. And someone woke up and go, let's just crack out 11.42 and 11.95. How do you come over at 11.95 after running those splits? Anyway, whatever. Awful. So I can't have Brigantine. You can leave me out of that. But Akihiro, here's one for you. Out of the midways, right? Out of that Randwick form. Here we go, right? It's $26. Probably can't back. If I'm dead set, I can't tip his into it the win. I'll back at the win, but I can't tip his into it because I'm a bit sick. But it's $7 a place, right? So here's my theory. We're going to go Giannis, whatever, Halal, going like a bastard. And then we've got Brigantine, who's sat in the, one pair back, should have beaten that lot down there on the slowest section he's ever seen. So what are we left with? Coast Watch goes to Melbourne. Here we are, Akihiro, $7 a place. Look, it wasn't that the sectionals weren't that great, but it was pretty impressive in that midway, coming over the top from way back in the field. J-Mac was on. J-Mac's been on the last 4 starts, I think, from memory. If he's booked, there is not a chance this horse starts $26.
No, you won't.
There you go, Dino. So there's my tip. Akihiro, $7 a place, and if you're gutsy, take a bit of the 26 to win. Mates, next up, we head over to the Silver Eagle, worth probably $450 million over 1,300 metres. First 3 get a ticket to the Golden Eagle. Ellsberg, $6. Vangelic, 6. Count the Repeat, $7. Amish Boy, 8. Prime Star, 8. And Kiku, $15. What do you like?
Yeah, it's probably another one I'm not too enthused about getting involved early, so I won't dribble for too long. I'd like to see if Count the Rippy can shape up here. I think it's a nice horse on the rise, and the figures first up were outstanding at Kembla Grange. I've always had a little bit of time for this horse, so that's probably the one that comes to mind first. And I think Kiku Waller horse, always improving type mare, is another watch, but I'll pass to you, mate. I haven't got real opinion in this. How do you see
Count
it?
the Rupee a Kosciuszko runner, mate?
No, I don't think so, because Cozzy's for your country horses and they're a provincial trainer.
Oh, down at Goulburn, right? Yeah, my apologies. Sorry to
Kembla,
the price. Sorry, bud.
Kembla, the prices train Count Rupee, same trainers.
Where's Kembla? That's in the country, isn't it?
Kembla, please. Just
Stitch
outside
up. That was a stitch up, mate. I saw that one coming. All right, mate. So the Silver Eagle, I found one wide here, and I desperately wanted to back this horse first up, and I didn't. Thank God I didn't. Equation, $15 the win, $4.45 the place at the moment. Nisham, she suggested the horse wasn't suited over 1100 first up. She said 1200 and it's a big chance. She's pretty astute. She's doing her best. Ran home against a serious bias on that day when it was a huge advantage to be up and in on Randwick. It's the same sort of meeting that same sort of pattern that you referenced earlier.
Exactly.
If it retains JMac, watch out. We won't be getting, once again, won't be getting anything in this price. With even luck at the barrier draws, I think we're going to find one that's going to fall into Golden Eagle calculations here, mate. So I think Equation for mine, and I'll get onto it later, but that's the best all-in play of the weekend. There you go, pal. Yeah. What do you reckon about that? You like it?
You make a good point there, because you saw that's the exact same meeting with talk of your Private Eyes, your Cascadians, your Montefiores, and it was absolutely backed off the map, if I can remember. I think it was 16 to 3s. So, and then you sort of saw another horse coming out of its win before it went for a spell. The horse escapes my mind, coming out and winning that meeting as well. So it's got the right form. I think the figures were very, very good. There was a lot of ratings judges very keen. So $11, that won't last at all, especially if JMac sticks. And
15, brother.
Talk about that.
15.
Yeah,
and let me just say, I've had 12 too many gins today. It's obviously a public holiday in New South Wales, and 6 too many beers. But I did forget Lord Olympus, and I think it was Valaquinta, which I backed as ran third today. I think came out of the same race and really franked that sort of pattern. So very much one under the radar there, but I doubt tomorrow afternoon it'll be under the radar when all your 2,000 followers chime in, Dino. Mate, next one we head along to the Group 3 Angst Stakes, 1,600 metres, Nimali, $4. Amelina, $5, looking for about 2,400 metres, that horse. Mirror Vision, 6s. Kiku, 8. Grayson Hummy, 8. More Profits, 8. Do you like anything in the Angst?
I could entertain Nimali, obviously, probably better off waiting until the markets are out. You're not getting much value around the $4, but that horse is going super. Third up, 1,600 metres, suits. Mirror Vision, trialling house down and comes through that Newcastle meeting. But at those early quotes, mate, nothing catches my eye at all. I'll probably just wait till markets are out and see where Nimali draws, and that will probably tell me if I'm taking the odds or not. So I'll throw straight to you, mate. Have you found anything?
Yeah, another bet, because I just love betting. But once again, another Waller bet. So we're just going to wait. Once again, hopefully get some under there. I'm about to send him a text, Chrissy. No doubt he won't write back.
On the program.
Kiku, $8. Obviously in for the Silver Eagle. If it goes to Silver Eagle, I'd give up. Won't be winning that. But, mate, don't get confused. This horse is flying. All right, last start, similar setup to what we just talked about, Equation. It will put in big, most likely against JMac again if it goes here. $8. Very, very keen. Anyway, enough about me. I want to hear more from you, Dino. Caulfield Guineas. I'm pretty sure we got the rail and the true there at Caulfield, but could be wrong because I didn't research that one. But, mate, Animo 230, Artorias 450, Coastwatch 15, Forgot You 15, Lightsaber comes out of that horrendous form line when you would have gone past them, and Mr. Mozart 15. 1,600 metres there, probably a lot of these for the first time. What do you like, mate?
I think Animo is very, very hard to beat. No props for finding that horse. I thought it was outstanding, obviously, in the Golden Rose, set that task against that rails heavy bias. I know Taurus was better late sectionally into the eye, but I think the key difference and what's going to be the decisive factor on Saturday is Animo has tactical speed and can sit a lot closer. I think Artorias can't. It's a horse has to go back and flies home with that flashing light. And Animo has the upside. It was only second up in the Golden Rose. Artorias was third up there. So I think Animo has the most improvement. The one at odds that I would like to see is Forgot You. I've had a lot of time for this horse. It could be on a Derby path, but they're stuck to the 1,600 metres for the Buston and Young. Hits a flat spot and then absolutely charges late, this horse. They get it out of Moonee Valley. I think this horse is a very nice young star, and at $15, if I was having a save in the race to beat Animo, I think this horse is one that can jump out of the box. So that's sort of how I saw it. I think Animo will be very hard to beat. No props for finding that and no value in that price, but hopefully it lives up to their expectation. We have an elite horse coming out of it. That's sort of how I saw it. How do you split the two in Animo and Taurus at the top of the market, mate?
Mate, I think you nailed it. There's not much more to add. Animo is a good horse with tactical speed, can sit in a good position. Artorias is a show pony who flies over the top late, but what good's that? So if you don't have early speed, forget it. So for mine, Animo clearly on top. Artorias complete spell. Coastwatch, I'd be happy to back Coastwatch to place. Absolutely. They're probably the two plays, but I'd say Coastwatch, the place might be my bet if it goes that way. But yeah, as far as all in betting goes, happy to wait. I think you'll get 230 anyway, Animo. So let's just let that one ride. But Dean, I'm interested. Forgot You, $15 the win. What are we looking at, about $4 a place, you reckon, mate? $3?
Yeah. Something around that.
Could be.
It's not a bad bet at all. It's a very progressive horse. The only query for mine is staying at 1,600 metres. It might be looking for further, but if we get a strong tempo up front and turn it into a proper race and a proper test, it will be the strongest horse late. It just needs to balance up and sort of not hit that flat spot. I think it can be right in this race. So I really, really like it going forward. It's probably going to be one of my Derby horses when it gets up over a trip. So it's a big watch for that horse, and the stable can produce them at big odds. We know that.
Mate, speaking of Derby, can you remind me at the end of this show, I've got a Derby tip for you. It's going to open 100s and the nominations come out tomorrow. So you remind me before we finish up. Just a side note, we've got Just Wins who chimes in with a great tip-off. Big fan of the show, no doubt, and chimes into our best bets. He has declared Animo, and Cody Lane, who also does our best bets, he's gone with Artorias and Alpine Legend, who comes out of that slowly run race, but mind you, didn't get a crack at them. So the only one that you would possibly back from that race is Alpine Legend. So up you go, Cody. Hopefully you can find yourself, the listeners, a winner. Mate, Group 1 Toorak Stakes. Not much for our Sydney siders here. Any opinions? Anything you like?
I'll probably sit back and watch on Thunderstruck. It's touted as a very impressive horse. Probably wins last start if it doesn't find traffic in the straight. Has a lethal turn of foot. So it's probably a race that I'll sit back, crack a cold beer, and see if we can unveil a new superstar on the scene. What about you, mate?
How good's a cold beer? Well, I've got no idea, and I turned my over to young Louis Willoughby, the Sky Racing 1 genius. Basically, Bondi, male model from Bondi, the Prince of Bondi. He's just flying. No one's on a better trajectory than Louis. He has tipped us second slip at $34. So if that wins, I'm going to give up my day job, but up you go, Louis. Best of luck there, mate. Mate, next one, the Group 1 Might and Power Zaki, $1.25. I'm just going to be short and sweet with this. Trent Prebins chimed in on Twitter, said going to be probably 6 or 7 horse field, back Probabil, the place, $1.65, non-conformist, $2.30. So there you go, punters. There's something from Trent. Hopefully he can steer you into a winner. And our guest tipster of the week chimes in the Herbert Power Stakes. Anthony H from Twitter. Apologies there, Anthony. I can't pronounce your surname. Could be something to do with the 13 gins I've had. The Chosen One, $13, and Fun Fact, $13. A couple of each way bets for you there. But I've just mid-show, we've got a text from old Rick Morris and his fair income declared floating artist. Up you go, Rick. It's $2.50. Thanks, Rick. We better win by 4. Now, we're going to move into some best bets. We bypassed this one earlier, the Niverson Stakes, Group 3. It's Dino's best bet. I didn't look at the race, so I thought, carve it up, won't worry about it. But we'll go straight to Dean. Best bet.
Yeah, it comes up in the Niverson 1,200 metres, Group 3 in Sydney, Randwick. Interesting horse here. Min Ha from the Hayes camp now with the John O'Shea stables. Had 2 trials in Sydney. They've both been outstanding. Latest was in behind Classique Legend. Went to the line, hard held, but loved its work late. Currently around that $7 price all in. I think this horse is absolutely flying, and I'm hearing James McDonald is booked. I think this horse is very, very good. Has form as a 3-year-old around Ridden Beauty and September Run, so they're likeable form lines. Has had a good break now, so it's one of those horses that might sneak under the radar just because of the improvement between preps in the right stable. We can turn them into very nice horses. O'Shea, so I'm very keen on this horse. This is my best all-in bet of the week, and I'll probably take some of that 7s, mate. So that's my best bet.
So we got Dino all in best bet. And mind you, punters, Dino, last week we covered 5 races and we came up with 3 winners. Just throw myself a bit of a rap here. I did tip and ton at $13. It started 5s and got beaten a dead set nostril. Anyway, move on. What do you do? This week we've covered 1,000 races. Hopefully we get 1,000 winners. My best will be in the Silver Eagle equation, $15, $4.45 to place. It will not start that price. It will go so close to winning. Just needs a good draw. Hopefully J-Max 6, and hopefully we're off to a winner. Dino, thank you so much for your time, mate. For the punters out there who want to know more about the work you do, give us a quick spiel.
Yes, perfect. Just jump onto Twitter or the website, the Barrier Tenant, you'll find it. All your content, trial reviews, weekend reviews, tips and staking. You can sign up to your first month free now. Use the code FREE50 at checkout. Jump on Twitter, give us a like and a follow, and all the content's there. Before I go, Gano.
Yes, mate.
Got a good memory. What's this Derby tip, sorry.
It's a derby, mate. Come on. So a couple of weeks ago, we had our mate Body on before he became famous, winning Group 1s everywhere, and he steered me into Zoom On. Now it's come out and he said, look, the horse is going to be great over 2,000. It probably wants more than 2,000. Genuine derby horse. Lined up over 1,200. And I was like, oh, mate, I'll just have a little bit on here. Like, not much because it's $16, right? The thing just kept going and giving, and it's a genuine winner, right? So Zoom On, it will open $100. If it doesn't open $100, the bookers are kidding themselves because it should, because it won like a Python Maiden or something. But Body's tipped it up. Right, what we do, once it opens 100s, load up everything. Let's get in a $6 favourite, lads. Come on.
I like it. That's good.
Yeah, I like it. We'll scare the crap out of the bookies. That'll be good. But Body's been on fire. The stable's been flying. He knows what he's talking about. So let's back that one home, guys. Dino, thank you so much for your time, mate. Hopefully you'll be back with us next week, mate. Really appreciate everything. And any luck next week, you'll probably be flying again, mate.
Cheers, Gannon, mate. And good luck to the punters out there. Hopefully we've steered him into a few nice price winners.
No doubt you have, mate. All the best. Thanks, mate.